the meeting, participants, including members of the public, may be muted by the host. However, there will be an opportunity for them to participate and speak during the public portion of the meeting, where participants will be unmuted at their request. At this time, Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the
United States of America,
States of America,
which
and to the republic which
under God,
stands
indivisible,
under
with
God,
liberty
liberty
and
and
justice for all.
justice for all.
Commissioners, we're gonna consideration of previous meeting minutes. If you guys had an opportunity to review them, I'd appreciate a motion in a second.
I did, and barring any questions, I motion.
Chairman Wright, motion. Second.
I'll second.
Thank you, Mr. Giorgiani. Roll call. Commissioner Vignolo,
Yes.
Commissioner Blevins,
yes,
Commissioner Walde, I think I heard him. Commissioner Dunlap,
Yes.
Commissioner Giorgiani,
Yes.
Chairman Wright,
Yes.
absent Medina Hernandez. Let the record reflect motion passes. At this time, Secretary and Committee report I'll save for the end. There are a couple of things that I wanted to talk about. The informational items, we're also going to push that to the end. I want to get to the new business. There's no other old business to worry about except one of the resolutions that we needed to clean up, which was the landlord incentive program. Mr. Camacho is here tonight. He did a really good job with that, and he provided some clarity for the board to consider later on. So at this time, I have Mr. Hoffman here. He's going to introduce his the individuals who are going to present, but we're going to go to Resolution 36, which is after my payment of bills, and we're going to address that first. I'll read it into the record, and then I'll turn it over to Mr. Hoffman. NBHA Resolution number 36, resolution confirming Downtown Hub Associates 3 Urban Renewal LLC as redeveloper of a 39-story mixed-use building consisting of residential, laboratory, and office use on property located in the Farron Deck redevelopment plan area known as Block 17.01, lots 1, 2, 3, 8, 9, and 10, approving the redevelopment agreement between the Housing Authority and Downtown Hub Associates 3 Urban Renewal LLC and the concept plan for the project. Mr. Hoffman?
Yes, this is, you described the actions that we're taking tonight. This is the third phase of the Farron Mall, the first phase, H1, which was also developed by DEFCO, and that's where Rutgers Medical School and other technology companies are going. H2 is where Nokia is going, and this is H3, which is along Patterson Street. So it's property owned by the Parking Authority and some other lots that the DEFCO entity has either acquired or is negotiating to acquire. It is we had previously appointed them as redeveloper, and what had happened is that now that we know exactly what the project's going to be, it was determined that we should have a new redevelopment agreement. So there is also the usual redevelopment agreement, and they have also presented us with a concept plan. I don't need to go through DEFCO's experience. Everyone here knows everything that they've done and all the work that they've done in the Brunswick. The project is going to be 265 residential housing units, including 53 affordables, some lab space for Rutgers, and also some lab space that Middlesex County will be involved in. Rutgers Medical School housing 31 units, and also offices for Middlesex County. The project is anticipated to cost $485 million, with the redeveloper financing a portion through Aspire Credit Incentive Program, and also there will be bonds that will be sold, and there will be equity contributions by Rutgers University and Middlesex. It contemplates the construction will begin by May of 2006 and be completed by December of 2028. I have negotiated with Mr. Liebling the redevelopment agreement, which is the usual redevelopment agreement, and I'll now introduce Mr. Charles Liebling, the attorney for the applicant, and they can explain the project further. If you have any questions of me, I'm here.
Thanks, John. I can be brief. You've covered, most of it.
John, to you.
Appropriate for me to say.
Chuck, you have to speak louder. People aren't hearing you.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah, I just want to thank you. You've covered most of the introductory material. I'm Charles Liebling from Windell's Marks Lane and Mittendorf of New Brunswick. I, together with Tom Kelso, represent Downtown Hub Associates 3 Urban Renewal, LLC, formed by the New Brunswick Development Corporation, DevCo, which obviously you all know well. John covered everything in my notes here, so I'm not going to repeat them. Chris Palladino is the representative of my client. He's the president of DevCo. He'll introduce the project and explain the inclusion in the larger Helix development. Also here this evening to present the specifics of the project is the architect, John Martin, of the firm of Elkis Manfredi. Christian Roach, the project civil engineer, will also be available for any questions. We're requesting that the authority confirm the designation of the applicant as the redeveloper of H3 and approve the replacement redevelopment agreement. Chris, I invite you to start your presentation.
Right. We're here in the concept plan.
Excuse me?
What? Sorry?
Mr. Hoffman, can you repeat what you just said?
Yeah, I said we're also approving the concept plan.
Right.
That's the third thing that's the third
Right.
part of the resolution.
Yeah, it's attached to the redevelopment agreement, but yes, it's being approved specifically. Thanks, John.
Right. Just gonna close my door in case my dog decides to bark. Thank you, Chairman Wright, members of the board, and Mr. Toto. It's good to be back to talk about the third and maybe not the last part of the Helix project, but this has been a very exciting project. Actually, in fact, in this morning's press, the Helix, all 3 buildings collectively were touted as maybe the most important real estate project in New Jersey history. When completed in late 2028, we will have constructed in the first 3 phases of the Helix 1.5 million square feet, representing an investment of over $2 billion. And most importantly, 4,000 people will research, work, live, and learn on 4 acres that was once the Ferrin parking garage across the street from the New Brunswick train station. I truly feel old because it wasn't until after I left college that the Ferrin deck was built. I was looking at pictures the other day of 1981 of that street, and it's now going through its 3rd transformation. As you're aware, H1, which we came to the board a number of years ago, is under construction. It'll be opening this spring. It's approximately 585,000 square feet. It is the only building in the country that we're aware of that has a large academic translational research component. In that component alone, there's over 600 wet lab spaces. There's a medical school, which will be the new home of the Rutgers School of Medicine as they merge both medical schools. There's an incubator for startup companies, the New Jersey Innovation Hub, and we've got laboratories for large pharma and biotech companies that are doing partnerships primarily with the university. H2, which is currently under construction, will be the new home of Nokia Bell Labs, where their work will focus on quantum computing, drone research, artificial intelligence, 6G development, and what I find the most exciting is Bell Labs will operate the first the first cellular network on the lunar surface from New Brunswick. What's really exciting about that second component of the project, that 1,000 physicists, computer scientists, mathematicians, and electrical engineers will be moving to New Brunswick. And probably what even makes it even more exciting, that nearly half of those people will be new hires, hired from places like Rutgers and Princeton and then NJIT. It's one of the reasons that they decided to come to New Brunswick, because they'd be able to attract tremendous talent. The third phase, the subject of this application, is approximately 552,000 square feet. It represents an investment of nearly $500 million, including the penthouses. It's 42 stories. It will have a commercial base of approximately 252,000 square feet, which includes offices for the county, spec wet and dry lab space for the private sector, a new home for the Rutgers School of Engineering's Wind Labs, which is their wireless research facility, which interestingly was actually started by three Bell Lab scientists who left Bell Labs and joined the Rutgers faculty back in the 1980s. And we will, as Mr. Hoffman said, create housing for approximately 100 Rutgers medical students. The residential portion of the building is approximately 300,000 square feet, 265 apartments with 20% of them set aside as affordable units. You know, what's most important to remember is that H3 is an essential component of the strategy. You know, we're creating an ecosystem, not just building buildings, building laboratories, building offices, a place where people can collaborate. And with H3, the ecosystem will truly become a 24/7 place where people will be able to, you know, work, live. You know all about H1, where we've got several hospitality venues. So this is an exciting time for New Brunswick, for New Jersey, and for the region, because we really are making a little bit of history. So certainly thank you for your time tonight and your consideration.
Great job, Chris. Awesome.
So, yeah, can you hear me better now than before?
Yep.
Yes. Okay, all right. John Martin, who is the project architect from Elkis Manfredi, is going to walk us through the visual presentation of the project.
Thank you, Chuck. Good evening, everyone. I do want to just take you around the project briefly. I think you are very familiar with the site. It is the old Fair and Deck site, and we've code-named all of these buildings H1, H2, and H3. H3 is the 39-story tower that we're talking about tonight. And as has been mentioned earlier, you can see that it has frontage all along Patterson Street, and it's on the Kirkpatrick Street corner. If I zoom in a little more closely and give you a sense of the ground floor, everything you see in the orange or salmon color is space that is devoted to Middlesex County, and their entry is off of Patterson Street. That's the use that will have a front door on Patterson Street. On this corner, in the red color, is a small little retail space that will help activate Patterson Street. The access road between H1 and H3, the terminus of this landscaped, very active promenade, has the entry to the residential component, which is in the light yellow color. And it also has the entry in the purple color to the lobby that gets you up to the commercial uses, the floors that Rutgers occupies. The loading dock is off of Kirkpatrick Street, as well as H1's loading dock. They both front on Kirkpatrick Street. So we envision this connecting road as not having much traffic and more pedestrian-oriented kind of environment. In terms of how the building stacks up, as others have alluded to already, it is a mixed-use project. It has it's a virtual birthday cake of different flavors. The ground floor has the public spaces for Middlesex County. The next two floors are laboratory use. And then the next 4 floors in light blue there are commercial use. When we get up to the purple, the building sets back, and that's where we have 4 floors dedicated to Rutgers Medical School housing. And then everything above that, the next 26 floors are devoted to the residential component, both market rate and affordable. And as has been already mentioned, if you measure from the street level where the residential entry is to the very top of the elevator override, it's over 500 feet. It's 502 feet tall. This is an enlarged plan showing you a more close distribution of all of those spaces. There are mechanical spaces and the loading dock on the first floor as well. In terms of how the building sits in the cityscape, I think it will be the tallest building in New Brunswick when completed. And we've worked hard architecturally to bring the language of the residential tower all the way down to the ground so that it reads as a single building. It's not a residential building sitting on top of a commercial building. We really wanted the residences to have an address both on the Paseo or the promenade and the county space to have an address on Patterson. This drawing features a little outdoor amenity level. There are three floors at the ground floor, so to speak, of the market rate and affordable housing segment that have the amenity spaces, the gym, the leasing office, and so forth for the tower. And those open up onto a little rooftop terrace. If I take you around and look from the northwest, you can see the county's office space entry on Patterson Street. You can see again how the language of the building comes to the ground. The commercial spaces are more glassy. The labs, the office space need more daylight, so that allows more daylight into those deeper floor plates. And then the elevator tower itself is clad in all glass because when we go around to the promenade side, I will show you in a moment, one of the real features of the building will be that the residential elevators will have a glass back. So when you go into the lobby and then you zoom up to your floor, you'll be looking back down that promenade through the elevator. This is a streetscape view of Patterson Street with Middlesex County Courthouse on the right and the new building on the left. We see some suggestion of that small little retail space on the corner. We felt like that was important to activate that corner. We see it as a kind of cafe, bakery, grab and go type space, hopefully. And you can see how the language of the tower comes to the ground along Patterson. If I do take you around on the promenade, this is about halfway back, there's a monumental entry to the residential. We've codenamed the residential the Watson, obviously going back to Bell Labs. And if I hover above the promenade a little bit, this is Bell Labs, Nokia on your left, H1 on your right. You can see how the dining terrace, the restaurant that's at the back of H1 spills out, and how the front door of the residential opens up to this Warniff, this kind of flush street that's does allow vehicular traffic to pull up to the front door, but it's really a pedestrian-oriented environment. Above the big entry to the residential, you'll see a horizontal balcony, and that is an outdoor amenity balcony for the Middlesex County floor, one of their floors. So the county workers will have access to some outdoor space there as well. And that is a brief tour around the proposed building. I can leave that up, or I can stop sharing.
Can I just add, Mr. Martin said this would be the tallest, he thought it would be the tallest building in New Brunswick. We believe this will be the tallest building in New Jersey outside of Jersey City and the Ocean Casino in Atlantic City. And also, just to make one other correction on one of the earlier presenters, we have either acquired or have contracts and agreements for all of the property that we need for this project. And so I think it's just important to note.
Well, let me add some things. There's no parking zone because the parking authority in the wellness deck has confirmed that they will have adequate parking in the wellness deck to handle all the parking needs of this building. And that was permitted, that's permitted by the redevelopment plan.
Well, and it's important to understand that most of the county workers that will work here are already parking in the system. While they may not necessarily go into wellness, they are in parking garages that are currently being leased or owned by the county.
excuse me a moment. I understand this has always been a multi-use development, but I had thought that there was actually to be a parking component within the building. Is that not true?
There will be no parking in the building.
You know, since our first presentation to the board, we've tried to not include a parking component to this building. And that's why we've been working with the parking authority to try to accommodate the parkers necessary in existing facilities in the downtown and alleviate having to build another parking garage. It's always been kind of a goal. If you think back to the Rutgers Medical School, those folks are parking in the city already. And a lot of the researchers that'll be moving into this building are kind of working in and around the city. So they're very comfortable that we have sufficient parking. I will tell you, when we come back to talk about H4, we'll probably be talking about a new parking garage. But for the moment, they're very confident, the parking authority is very confident that we don't need to build another unattractive parking garage, to be honest with you.
Well said. Well said.
I do
And
have
look, it's
a
also important.
concern.
It's also important to note, the state is committing $65 million to the renovation of the train station, and we've been working with Amtrak and expect by the time we open this, as you know, we probably 10 years ago we had 2 Amtrak stops a day. I think today we have 8, and that's probably going to grow to 16 by the time we open these buildings. So we are increasing the ability for people to get here through mass transportation in a significant way. Middlesex County is working diligently in providing some last mile alternatives for people like the jurors and some of their employees. So I think we were freeing up a number of parking spaces.
I do have I do have some concern about the parking authority's commitment for parking for this facility, simply because over the last 2 years, the parking authority has committed a number of spaces within the wellness deck to other projects within the city also. And I just want to make certain that that the parking authority as a partner in this overall plan is not overcommitting the number of spaces that they actually do own or have available within the wellness deck.
Well,
I don't know
I'm
the
under
answer to that, but it is a concern.
No, I'm under the impression, though, that H1, H2, and H3 are the only people that they've actually committed the wellness garages, wellness spaces to. And we're also working with the parking authority to add about 120 spaces on the ground floor that don't currently exist. And we would be paying for those.
Which ground floor?
Where the supermarket used to be.
Oh, okay. Because I go to the gym, the wellness club, and if you go there around 10 o'clock, I mean, every deck is full. So I don't know how they are going to commit 298 parking spaces for this project.
Because they are relocating the county parkers, and the hospital, who currently has parking spaces committed here, are going to be moving those folks out. A lot of them are being slowly moved out to. We just built a 1,000-car parking garage at the Cancer Institute, and as you know, there's another 1,000-car parking garage being built at the Mayfair lot.
Where?
At the Mayfair lot on the other side of the train.
Oh,
Which is
okay.
closer to the hospital.
Okay. So they will allow you to use that?
No, they'll be moving the people that are in the wellness center
Oh, okay.
that you see today there, and we're also moving hospital folks to the Cancer Center garage, and the county is going to relocate some of its workers also to the Mayfair garage.
Can I ask a question on the units?
Sure.
You have what, 20 units affordable? Is that
No,
what?
53, is it, Marissa?
20%.
20%, I'm sorry. How many units is that? 250, most probably about 40 something?
No, it's 265 units total.
265, okay.
53 of them would be affordable.
Okay. What's the distribution?
Marissa,
Distribution.
Bedroom wide.
so, okay, do you have the distribution, Marissa? Because we do now, under the new rules, have to add 3 bedrooms.
No,
Right.
okay.
Yes,
So you have,
there's 42 studios.
Mhm.
There's 154 one bedrooms, 58 two bedrooms, and 11 three bedrooms.
right, do you have the 20%, do you have the affordable distribution?
Yes. 20% of the units are affordable, so that's 53 units. There's 35% are there's 2 studios, 2 one bedrooms, 1 2 bedrooms, and 1 3 bedroom. So that it's 35% of the AMI. 6 units those are the 6 units. And then 50% AMI, there's 3 studios, 3 one bedrooms, 31 two bedrooms, and 10 three bedrooms,
Okay.
for a total of 47 units.
Okay. All right. Just want to make sure all of them are not studio apartments.
Oh, no.
No. And
Okay.
actually, the new rules were building 3 bedrooms.
Okay. Can you go over the financing, please?
Sure. Well, I can quickly go through the commercial financing. We have leases from Rutgers and the county. We have Aspire tax credits. We're going to monetize this Aspire tax credits and put it in as equity. So the commercial space is being backed by the 2 leases of the 2 from Rutgers and from the county. So do you have the?
I think my main question is, do you have a commitment for the tax credit?
Do we have a commitment for them?
Yeah. Or
Selling them or
no. Commitment.
From the EDA?
Oh, no, I'm sorry. No, we're hopefully on the agenda in November with the New Jersey Economic Development Authority for the allocation.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, which we're very confident that we're going to get, since this has been a pretty high profile page and certainly one of the governor's legacy projects.
Okay.
In fact, quite honestly, at the Nokia groundbreaking, both the governor and Tim Sullivan announced that this building was being built. Commissioner, the other thing I wanted to mention, at the moment, and this will not be the case by the time we open this building, there are 500 construction workers in the wellness garage. So they'll be gone also.
Including the section 3, hopefully.
Yeah, and the other part of that, the parking issue. One of the things we did is went and measured the distance between some of the laboratory space on the Bush campus and the medical school campus for how far the parking lots are from the front doors. And if you go to Church Street or the George Street, or the Cultural Center lot or other lots in town that we could put 15 people or 25 people or 30 people, because we'll probably put the students maybe in the Church Street deck. This is a much more walkable situation than they currently have for some of their parking.
If I remember correctly, there is a 29-story building by Borai in that area.
So that is on the site where I used to park on the garage that they tore down next to 120 Albany Street.
Yeah.
Over here to the left here, you can see where the garage is. That's being built. I'm not sure how tall it is. I think they are building, though, 360 units plus some parking.
Okay. It doesn't
I'm not sure how tall it is. It's got to be pretty tall because it's a sub.
I don't believe
It's
that building actually has
29
any
stories,
parking.
if I remember correctly.
It doesn't have parking, Chairman?
Yeah, I don't believe that building has parking. I think where they landed on that was that their other property, Spring Street, a block up, has an underutilized parking deck. And
Yeah, let me mention.
that became the run.
Yeah, this is,
Correction, it does have parking.
Does it?
Yes, it is not fully parked, but there is parking in that building for a portion of the residents, and the other residents will share the underutilized of the Spring Street building, One Spring.
So
There
hold
we
on,
go.
guys, hold on a second. Listen, I don't want to be a party pooper, but I got to bring a little decorum back. Anyone
No, please.
has anything to say, please go through the chair, announce your name, and then take off. because unfortunately for Mr. Palladino, he might not know everybody. They might all know him. He doesn't know everybody.
No, that's fine. Are there any other questions
Yeah,
from the board?
Mr. Kelso has something to say right now.
Only Mr. Giorgiani, who's been doing this longer than me.
Yeah.
Mr. Toto, I can answer a couple of those questions. The new Borai building does have a little over 100 spaces. It's essentially replacing what's there now. And they have a significant surplus in the deck across the street, which they own and manage. So that's how that project was approved. The building itself is, I believe, 20 stories.
Okay. Thank you.
Perfect. Any other questions from the other commissioners? All right, seeing none, let's move it along. Mr. Toto.
We're all done with this presentation, ready to go. In regards to resolution 36 this evening, I'll need a motion and a second to proceed if there are no other questions.
I'll motion.
I'll second.
Thank you, gentlemen. Second. My little cheat sheet. Roll call. Commissioner Vignolo,
Yes.
Commissioner Blevins,
Yes.
Commissioner Walde,
Yes.
Commissioner Dunlap, Commissioner Dunlap.
I think I heard him.
All
Yeah,
right.
I hear him. Yeah.
Commissioner Giorgiani,
Yes.
Chairman Wright,
Yes.
absent Medina Hernandez. Congratulations, fellas. Thanks for your presentation.
Excuse me,
Thank
may
you,
I
Paul.
speak? I thought the public was going to get a chance to
They
ask
are,
questions.
is this Charlie Cradaville?
You guessed it.
Once I'm done with the resolutions, we'll give you an opportunity to speak. I'm sorry, I moved everything from the front of the meeting to the back of the meeting.
Okay, I mean, is the developer going to stick around to be able to answer the questions? I don't see why we didn't just have a chance to do it on this application.
Yeah.
For you, Mr. Cradaville, I will be here.
Unfortunately, I got, Charlie, hold on a second. I got to move on here to the next one. So Charlie, stay around. Rest of you guys, this resolution is over. NBHA resolution number 37, resolution, oh shit, sorry. Sorry, resolution, I got to make sure. Yeah, 37. NBHA resolution number 37, resolution approving MSB Easton Hamilton LLC as redeveloper for property known as Block 51, lots 20, 21, 21.01, 22, 24, 25, 26, and 33 on the New Brunswick tax map for the construction of a mixed-use residential commercial project consisting of 335 apartments with amenities with 67 affordable units and approximately 8,000 square feet of retail in the Easton Somerset Transitional Redevelopment Plan, Hamilton, Hardenburg area. And Mr. Hoffman, will Mr. Kelso be presenting right now, or will you?
I'll introduce it and then I'll turn it over to Mr. Kelso.
Thank you.
This is in the Eastern Somerset Transitional Redevelopment Plan. There are certain sub-areas in that plan, and this sub-area is the Hamilton Hardenburg sub-area. They made application to the developer consists of a partnership consisting of MXB Partners LLC, Northbridge Partners LLC, and MASC Associates LLC, which they have, some of the partners have extensive experience in development of both residential and commercial properties. The property consists of 8 lots, of which the developer owns 1 and has contracts to purchase the other 7. The project consists of 14 stories of residential with 4 stories of parking. There'll be 335 multifamily rentals with 20% low and moderate, that being 67 units, approximately 8,000 square feet of retail, and a parking garage with 335 parking spaces, and also bike parking and other amenities. The developer presented a concept plan prepared by Lazard Design, which consists of 13 pages showing all of the units, the affordable units, and the parking deck. The partners presented evidence that they've been involved in major projects, including the Port Imperial project in Weehawken and West New York, which project had over 6,500 residential units, 1,500 parking spaces, and 500,000 square feet of retail, and 2 hotels. They also have indicated that the project will cost approximately $205 million, with developer equity consisting of $20 million and monetized Aspire tax credit consisting of $87,750 and construction loan financing of $97,750. They anticipate starting the project on or before November 1, 2026, and completing it by November 1, 2029. And Mr. Kelso is here as the representative, and I'll turn it over to Mr. Kelso.
Thanks, John. I won't restate what John already laid out. Everything that he's indicated is accurate, was part of the application that was submitted with the application form and the plans. I would indicate that the plan that's being presented to you this evening is fully compliant with the Eastern Somerset Transitional Redevelopment Plan, particularly with regard to the Hamilton-Hardenburg sub-area. My intent is to have 3 people available for questions to be answered and or make the presentation. I would first identify Andrew Marshall, who is essentially the principal developer and the managing member entity. And a lot of the experience that has been indicated by Mr. Hoffman was under Mr. Marshall's oversight. We also had from Lazard Design, the director of design, Il-Do Yang, was here for potential presentation, but certainly to answer questions. And also our civil engineer from East Point Engineering, Mr. Brent Pappy. We believe that overall the project meets the spirit and the specific requirements of that sub area. It's been a long time in development and acquisition, and we're really excited to be here this evening and ready to get going on this project. Again, with just hearing what was indicated in the first application, this project does anticipate Aspire tax credits. That application is also pending with the EDA, and hopefully they'll get a positive result from that in hopefully in the near future. Don't think it'll be as soon as DevCo does, but they're working on it actively. So with that as just an overview, I would ask Andrew Marshall to step up and give us your presentation if you could, and you know, feel free to give a little bit of the background that the group has as far as development is concerned, and feel free to use the exhibit. I think you were going to use the Lazard Design exhibits as you go forward.
Thank you, Tom. Chairman Wright, thank you very much. Mr. Hoffman, thank you as well. I'm Andrew Marshall. I'm going to spend a little more time on our credentials as a partnership and as with our experience. I haven't landed anybody on the moon lately, so the lunar observation is not probably super relevant at this point. But I will say that this project does provide an opportunity to dovetail nicely with the Helix master plan and H3 in particular, as far as providing more housing. So just to spend a little time on our background, my partner and I, Ivan Barron from MXB Partners, we've enjoyed a long 25-year career together, formerly with Roseland Property Company. So we developed everything at Port Imperial, 200 acres. We did another 105 acres outside of Boston. We've done some very large projects together, all told over 11,000 units developed. In all states of condo, rental, affordable, low-rise, mid-rise, high-rise. Jersey City was noted earlier in the presentation. We were responsible for probably 6 high rises in Jersey City, a couple of twin 50-story high rises at the Monaco, Marbella 1 and 2, which were 42 and 38 floors each. So this is a product type that we're very familiar with. We, as was mentioned, we are pursuing the Aspire tax credits as well. We've dealt with Urban Hub tax credits in the past, the ERG program in the past. So our experience on that side of it, I think, will ultimately bear itself out to show that we are well qualified to do this. Our partners from Northbridge Properties, Dominic Caruso, and from MASC, Sal Raspa. Northbridge has been in the development industry for the last 20 plus years, starting out of heavy construction, really understands everything about from the dirt up. So it's always a great partner to have in your partnership to make sure that nothing below the ground is going to surprise you, although sometimes it does. And Sal's a well-regarded businessman in the local area and a great partner to have in the deal with us. So that's the sort of high level of that. And as it relates to the project itself, Ildo, can you share the screen and bring it up? I mean, it's not nearly as complex as the Helix. And we sit at the corner of Hamilton and Hardenberg, as you can see, right up against the recently completed parking garage. As was mentioned, this is an 8-parcel site. It is the entirety of the Hamilton Hardenberg sub area of the redevelopment zone. And we own the corner lot, and we are in hard contract on the other 7 parcels. And so it's fully under control. The building is 14 stories over 4, as was mentioned. We're living under the 180-foot cap within the redevelopment zone. The building is compliant with its coverage. The site is compliant with its coverage. And so we're not anticipating any issues moving forward with design through future approvals at the site plan level or anything like that. Go ahead to the next slide. So these are the 4 levels of the garage, starting with the ground floor, which has 2 different retail zones and a lobby entrance. And the parking is regular, if you will call it that. We are providing for all of the spaces required under the zone. And parking for the residents will be secured. There will be EV parking charging stations. We do have bike storage as well as bike charging for e-bikes. Go to the next slide. Just 2 more floors of parking. Again, very regular. Go to again. Here's where the housing starts. So there will be atop of the podium, there'll be an amenity deck. We anticipate a pool out there with an amenity surrounding that, with units around that, and then wrapped around double-loaded corridor all the way through. The amenity will have some double height space to it with a different mezzanine for potentially, co-working space or some sort of, place to get out of your apartment and come down and have a place to do conference calls and potentially even meetings within your own work from home kind of environment. Go back up. Okay, so what we've done is we've created a plinth different from what the Helix 3 project was talking about, where they were trying to bring the residential all the way down to the ground floor. We are in a different neighborhood. And so what we wanted to do is create a little bit more texture and a little bit more integration with the neighborhood around us, with the plinth that is 2 to 3 stories tall, where the garage is behind that. It encompasses the retail. It allows for the pedestrian circulation with relief off of the sidewalk, planting beds, street trees, all of those things that are very different than some of the areas in the more downtown area. Go to so what we've also done is we've carved out on this corner, we've carved out some space where you could have some outdoor dining associated with one of the retail spaces, which also then creates better visuals into the lobby space, which is noted just to the right, or I would say in front of that gray car. Yeah, exactly. And then there's retail to the other side. So what we've tried to do is be sensitive to the neighborhood, to the pedestrian environment, and make sure that there's relief as opposed to an entire wall that just comes down to the sidewalk. Go to the next. I wanted to show one other thing. Okay. So there's an outdoor amenity at the top floor. It's a carve out at the top floor to create a little relief again as the corner, since it is an 18-story building. So we're creating relief at the ground floor and we're creating some relief at the top floor to visually create some air and space. And then, this is one of those projects that is pretty straightforward, but it has a very meaningful impact on the city and the neighborhood to create the 335 units, 67 of which are affordable. And based on some of the questions from before, 7 of those would be studios, 6 of those 1 bedrooms, 40 of them as 2 bedrooms, and 14 of them as 3 bedrooms. And all of the units are parked within the garage itself. So go to that. Can you pull up the ground floor that shows the circulation from Brent Poppy's plan? Pull up Brent's plan. So what we've done is we've located, while that's coming up, is we've located loading to come off of Hardenberg, the main garage entry to come off of Hardenberg. Utility services will feed into utility rooms off of Hardenberg. And everything else around the building off of Hamilton will be pedestrian entries only. Hamilton's a busier street than Hardenberg, and so we didn't feel comfortable putting loading and other car entries into the building off of Hamilton Street. So here you can see this is rotated slightly, but you can see the loading dock is off street. The car entry comes in off of Hardenberg. You have utility vaults and so on and so forth internal to the building. And then up on Hamilton, we do have a pullout to allow for, pickups, drop-offs. Obviously, we have Amazon in our life for deliveries on a regular basis. And so in an effort to keep this simple on Hamilton Street, we've created this carve out in order to feed the lobby in and out for those types of services. Obviously, this is not a site plan submission, so we love some feedback as we work through this, but wanted to just show you how the building's conceived and how it masses out. And if there's any questions on that, whether related to any civil or any architectural issues, I'm more than happy to have Ildo or Brent address those at this point.
Thank you, Andrew. Commissioners, if you have any questions, please go through Zach and state your name and address Andrew Marshall.
Yes, this is Dave Blevins here. Chair,
Blevins.
I'd like to ask one question. First
Please.
of all, I was very impressed with the design. I looked at it very, very carefully and liked what I saw. My question is this, actually. I happen to live less than a block from this project, and I'm wondering if I need to recuse myself from a vote, or how should I handle that?
Please, Mr. Camacho, do you want to weigh in on that?
Yeah, so can you repeat that, Commissioner? I heard you.
He was saying he lives a
repeat.
block away from the development.
Yes,
Yeah,
I'm less than a block from the development.
But the development has already gone through the planning phase, correct?
No.
Or it has not? Okay. I mean,
Be-
you'll be noticed.
being located within 200 feet is not a disqualifying.
No.
Exactly. I was going to say that, Mr. Kelso. Yeah, I don't see a specific issue with just your location. Obviously, from a planning board standpoint, you will have an opportunity as a property owner
Right.
to potentially oppose it. But from a standpoint of this vote and your ability to vote on it, there's not a conflict that would require you to recuse yourself.
Yeah, I would
Thank
agree
you.
with that. This is
I just wanted to make sure I was kosher on that. That's all.
this is a
no problem,
redevelopment
Commissioner.
plan
Good point.
issue, not a zoning issue or planning
And,
issue.
and just on behalf of the developer, would like to characterize the fact that you have a right to come to the planning board to give comment or support, not necessarily to object to it.
Right.
There's more than
No.
one reason you could be there.
Thank you, Mr. Kelso. I appreciate that.
Commissioner Blevins, did you have any other questions?
Yeah, I have one question.
No,
Okay. All right. Recognizing that, Commissioner Walde.
Yeah, I know he answered all my questions in his presentation. I just have one question. You have 7 properties that are under contract.
Correct.
Are they mostly residential units or?
So of the 8 parcels, 7 of them have houses on them,
Okay,
and one is only has a garage in the back.
okay.
We own the corner lot already outright at 40 Hardenberg. And the other 7 of those other 7, 6 have homes on them and 1 does not.
Okay, so what's the possibility of getting all of them?
Well, as you can imagine, it was hard enough to get these 8, and it took a long time. And we have not embarked on additional conversations with the remaining homeowners. It's not out of the realm of possibility, but it has not occurred just yet.
Well, I might want to clarify that. I'm not sure a year ago, your question might have been, what's the possibility of getting all of the ones that they already have under contract?
Yeah,
Well, I think it makes it easier to understand or recognize of all those additional properties, it's only 2 property owners.
oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, so the bulk of the properties are owned by one individual group. So we're not dealing with 8 or 9 separate sellers.
Okay, all
It's a
right.
good clarification, Tom. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah.
Any other questions?
Any other
from the
questions?
board? Chair?
I see no questions from the board. I have no questions. We can move forward.
Yeah,
Sure.
And let me explain the action. The action today is to appoint them as the redeveloper and approve the concept plan. And that the appointment as the redeveloper is conditioned on us entering into a redevelopment agreement with them within 90 days from the date of this resolution.
Right. Agreed.
I just have one suggestion. On the partnership chart here, I think it's a typo. It says MXB Partners instead of MSB, in case you're presenting it somewhere else, you know.
So just the entity is MSB with an S as in Sam. And subsequent to forming this venture, the parent company has become MXB because the S left the partnership.
Yeah, it's a little bit confusing, but.
Yeah, so I apologize for the similarity, but there's reason behind it.
No, I thought it was a typo, that's why.
Yeah, no, it's astute of you, but it was intentional this time.
Okay.
He definitely is astute. You can't put anything past my
Nope.
commissioner.
All right.
So, Chair,
Okay.
I put out an agenda where I put the public comment before all of this. It was brought to my attention. So just so I'm in conformity, when I open up public comment, it is exactly that. It's a comment. They may want to ask questions, but it's a comment period. I just want to let my presenters know. So at this time, if anybody from the public would like to say anything before we move to a vote, please speak now. I see somebody's hand up here.
See a hand shot to the front. Go ahead.
Yeah. Hi, Charlie Cradaville, New Brunswick today. I appreciate getting the chance to speak before the vote this time. I don't want to belabor the point, but it's not about me. The agenda said public comment was going to be first, so anyone who came, whether they wanted to comment on an agenda item or other business, would have found themselves taking a back seat to the developers by rearranging the agenda at the last minute. So I don't think that's good form. I accept and appreciate the apology I received, and we'll just move forward here. But I did, for what it's worth, have some questions for the developer of the first project. Is now an appropriate time to ask them? Can I ask them?
Chair, I wanted to move to a vote on this subject, and then we can bring the first project after the vote on this, so I can stay in
I
conformity.
think if we're in public comment, we've set time limits on public comment. Let's just have the public comment at this point in time, and then we can conclude it, take the vote on this project, and move it forward.
Fair enough.
I don't want to hold Mr. Palladino any longer either.
Okay, so just to be clear, this will be the only public comment of the night, or will you open it up again later for other matters?
This is the public comment for the evening.
Okay, so on the first project, substantial completion and the concept plans listed as December 2028. Is there any wiggle room in there in the agreement, on the timeline?
Which project are you speaking to?
He's talking about
First one.
H3.
Okay, I apologize. Thank you.
Well, I can answer that. There's always wiggle room in the event of a force majeure event. But other than that, if they needed an extension, they'd have to come back to the housing authority to get their consent. But there's a force majeure clause, which, if there's the storms or the fires or things of that nature, act of God, then there would be an automatic extension.
Okay. I wanted to ask about 53 Patterson, 55 Patterson, and 57 Patterson. In the Helix 3 presentation, some of the imagery showed the building still there. Other imagery showed it kind of like as a grassy, area without buildings. What's the status of those three properties? Is the developer planning to buy them? Are they, what bucket do they fall in?
So Mr. Cradaville, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, we have and Marissa, please jump in if I get the numbers wrong. We have an option on 57, which is the closest to our building. It's the biggest piece parcel, the brick building. The building on the corner is going to be acquired for a road widening. So we will enter into discussions with the owner of the building, which is Clyde's. Given the fact that we have the building to his left and then the building to his right will be required by the city for a road widening, if he would like to sell the property. Whatever space we are able to get that we're not using for the building, we will, it's our intention to turn it into some kind of green space. So in a perfect world, Charlie, we'll be able to get the Clyde's building. If he's amenable to selling it, there's no other way to get it. You can't condemn it. The brick building, which is where the barbershop used to be, I think it's a convenience store now.
Yeah, our newsroom used to be there.
Right, that will be that'll be part of the road widening of Elm Row, and we'll have contracts with conversations with Mr. Patakis, I believe it is.
Right.
Who now runs I think he actually owns the property now. His parents had before.
Right. Well, thanks for that. I also wanted to ask about the lease with the county. I am aware of the agreement with Rutgers for this H3, but is that is a done deal? The lease is signed. Who at the county signed
It's been
off?
It's been socialized with the sound. We have a draft, and they haven't gone to the Board of Commissioners yet, which is their normal course. They negotiate it. But I believe that it's been discussed.
Okay. Do you know the length of the lease?
It'll be 30 years, and it'll be the county will own the building, will own that portion of the building in a condominium interest when it's done.
Okay.
Like, much
And-
like, you know, the courthouses and the county administration building now.
Right. Got it. Okay. And so
And they'll get
on
it,
parking,
they'll get it for $1 at the end.
thanks for clarifying. So on parking, does anybody have a itemization of who currently parks at Wellness Plaza? You know, is it ever full or close to full?
No, we know the folks who park there today will be vacating the parking. The folks who work for the hospital will be moving. The people who are currently there, and that's not necessarily the case. Some of the people who will be working in the building next door who currently are county workers, they'll stay. Some of the county workers will be moved to Mayfair, and the construction workers won't be there when the building opens. There's 500 of the 1,000 parking spaces. 500 of them are construction workers today.
Got it.
Which
Okay,
which is something, and I think, as you know, when we started doing the Cancer Institute, we started providing parking for construction workers, which we hadn't in the past.
Right. Yeah. So I just on this point, I think I'm now understanding why the city council put the parking authority in charge of this other redevelopment project that had previously been in the purview of the housing authority, because there's a lot of cognitive dissonance between this pair of proposals, right? On the one hand, we're saying things like, we don't want to have another unattractive parking deck, but that's exactly what the parking authority is planning to do on that new Redmond 2 redevelopment area. And
well, they are building it. They are building it on the other side of the track up against the train, but I'm not here to defend.
Sure. And but also that project is paired with what I thought was going to be offices for the county, but now we're learning that there's offices for the county in this building too. Is that an either or situation, or does anybody have information on whether the county is going to also be still doing that huge building on New Street as well as expanding into this?
You should probably talk to the county about it. It's kind of an overall bigger plan. The existing county administration building is needed in large part for court expansion. So I think that new building is going to have a lot of the prosecutors work in it and some county facilities, and this will have the other piece.
Okay.
But Charlie, I'm not privy to the balance, but there's a lot of moving pieces to it.
Yeah, it's just strange to have these two sort of parallel plans and conversations, and now having the parking authority take that one over. I'm starting to understand what's going on here. But last question.
Well, good. So maybe you could let it to me someday.
Yeah. I think in your documents it mentioned Penrose. Is Penrose committed to be a part of the?
Yes, Penrose is our residential. Penrose is our residential partner, much in the way that they were with the Performing Arts Center.
Okay, and I guess by the time this comes around, they'll hopefully have already delivered their Nelson Street, Hildebrand Commons building.
Honestly, I don't know anything about that project.
All right.
Separate project. So we want to make sure we're moving this along. You said, was that your last question, Charlie?
Last question on the first project. I did have some other redevelopment questions. I'd be happy to come back later in the meeting if Mr. Hoffman's available.
We don't want to have this drag, but Mr. Hoffman's always available. You know the means by which to get to him outside of the meeting. We want to make sure that we're mindful of everybody's time.
Okay.
Well, Jack, I don't know who's got the hold on, Charlie. I don't know. Somebody's.
I got you, Dan.
All right, thank you.
We're good.
Okay.
I just want to
killing me.
Say thank you for the presentation to Helix and Mr. Chuck Liebling and Palladino. I really appreciate it. Thank you, guys. And we're going to move on here. I've got a chair.
Yes, please.
Any questions on the second vote now, or how do you want?
We can ask the questions on the second vote now and hold the room for any additional public comment. Once we close public comment, it's closed for this meeting.
Great. Mr. Cradaville. Somebody else has got their hand up. 73229. I don't even.
Yeah. Are you? trying to
think
call
that's
on
him.
me?
I think it's just hung out there.
Yeah.
Did you
hi.
say you
Can
had
you hear me?
a comment for the second presenter for the Hamilton Street
I
project?
actually have no. Thank you for offering. I actually have no questions about the presentation on this one. The questions were related to other redevelopment items that are not on the agenda tonight.
Gotcha. All right. If there's nobody else for public comment, then I motion to close public comment.
I need a motion and a second. Chairman Wright has motioned. I need a second on this resolution number 37.
Second.
Ms. Vignolo, second. All right, roll call. Commissioner Vignolo,
Yes.
Commissioner Blevins,
Yes.
Commissioner Walde,
I think I heard him. No, I'm kidding. It's not my place.
And-
He's on mute.
I'm gonna bring Charlie back
Yes.
to ask. Laughing over there.
Commissioner Walde?
I heard him. He said yes.
Yeah.
Thank you,
Okay.
Mr. Walde. Commissioner Dunlap,
Yes.
Commissioner Giorgiani,
Yes.
Chairman Wright.
Yes.
And let's make sure that Marshall gets 4 tickets before he leaves New Brunswick tonight.
I want to thank everybody for your time and patience and I appreciate your support for this project, and we won't let you down.
Thank you.
Thank you guys very much. Thank you, everybody. We're looking forward to being great partners.
Thank
Mr.
you
Chairman,
for
this is John Hoffman. Did you want me to stay, or is it just public comment coming up now? I don't
No,
know.
the public comments concluded. If there's no other business on the agenda that you're a part of, you're welcome to drop out of the call.
All right, Mr. Kravitz, I had some questions. I'm unclear as to what's happening.
And he's gonna have to,
He can call your
Contact
office, he
us.
can email you, he can follow
Con-
up with you in any other manner. But public
It
comment
sounds like they wanted
legitimately
to
is
get
public
lunch.
comment. And
I was trying to
and we wanna make
clarify.
sure-
Thank you very much. I appreciate all your efforts and thank you again.
thank
No
you.
worries.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody.
Thank you.
Thank you. Mr.
All right.
Toto,
We're gonna move on to, resolution number 35, resolution approving, authorizing, and ratifying payment of bills for September 2025.
I motion.
All right, motion from chair, second. Mr. Walde?
Second.
Yeah.
Okay. Roll call, Commissioner Vignolo,
Yes.
Commissioner Blevins,
Yes.
Commissioner Walde,
Yes.
Commissioner Dunlap,
Yes.
Commissioner Giorgiani,
Yes.
Chairman Wright.
Yes.
All right, sorry I had to jump around on the agenda here. Resolution 38, resolution approving the landlord incentive program presented by CSG Consulting. That was resolution that needed some tweaking that Alberto and a couple of the commissioners last week engaged in. It was changed. I know we verbally agreed, but I always like to bring back resolutions after we tinker with them for the record publicly to go up for a vote. So it's not
Makes perfect
confusing.
sense. You want to read
Right.
it in?
Yeah. Sorry.
Do you have it, Dan?
Yeah, Mr. Camacho, are you there?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, I wasn't sure because I was looking to see if you've been getting bounced back and forth, and I've had to let you in. Do you have it in front of you?
I do. I do.
Oh, you're the best. So to earn your money for tonight, can you please repeat it into the record for us? Thank you.
No problem. So we have a resolution to approve and authorize CSG Consulting to create a plan for a landlord incentive program. And it indicates whereas the Housing Authority of the City of New Brunswick, a public entity organized and existing pursuant to the Code of Federal Regulations, the U.S. Department of Housing and Urban Development, and the laws of the state of New Jersey, has determined, that it is in need of increasing landlord participation in its Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher Program. And whereas the Housing Authority has determined that such participation may be increased through a landlord incentive program, and whereas the Housing Authority wishes for CSG Consulting to develop a plan for a landlord incentive program. And whereas the Housing Authority has determined that that plan shall commit up to $1 million towards the landlord incentive program if available. And whereas the Board of Commissioners has determined that it is in the best interest of the Housing Authority and its overall goal of providing quality, affordable housing to low-income families and seniors, to approve and authorize CSG Consulting to create a plan for the landlord incentive program. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Commissioners of the Housing Authority of the City of New Brunswick hereby approves and authorizes CSG Consulting to create a plan for a landlord incentive program. And be it further resolved that the board hereby directs that the cost of creating the plan shall not exceed $17,500. And be it further resolved that the board hereby directs that the plan may commit up to $1 million in funding if available. And be it further resolved that the board hereby directs that the plan shall be subject to legal review and approval, as well as the final review and approval of the board upon completion prior to implementation. And be it further resolved that the board hereby directs and authorizes the executive director to take any and all necessary administrative actions to implement this resolution.
Sounds good. Do we have any comment from the commissioners?
I approve.
I like that. Hold on. I think we're going to have to get a motion in a second before moving forward. Mr. Toto, you're on mute. I know.
Any other commissioners like to say anything? Because I'm going to put Commissioner Dunlap down as the motioner here. So we'll move on.
I'm excited about what I just heard. That was accurately corrected and repeated very well. Good job, Alberto.
All right. So I will second Commissioner Dunlap's motion to move this project forward.
Great. Commissioner Vignolo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blevins?
Yes.
Commissioner Walde?
Yes.
Commissioner Dunlap?
Yes.
Commissioner Giorgiani?
Yes.
Chairman Wright?
Yes.
Let record reflect motion that legal counsel Camacho read into the record has passed with Medina Hernandez absent. I did want to add something before we adjourn for the evening on my informational items that I kind of saved for the back end of this, where I normally do it in the beginning. We talked about the landlord incentive program update. I also want to talk to you guys about this statewide program that the federal government had given New Jersey $20 million, and I started pursuing it last January when I heard about it. Mr. Cradaville knows all about it because he sent me some information on it in the spring, which prompted us to apply for it. My sources at the government, at the state government level, DCA, told me a few months ago that we were the recipients of $425,000. There is a little holdup, and that is to provide digital equity for our residents here that desperately need. People think that everyone connects to the internet. Well, they connect differently. I don't want to get into it, but we all can imagine in our homes on 5G how easy it is to get on. And some people have whatever 10G, but people here in our housing complex don't have that luxury. So this is where this money is. The individual that works for DCA assured us that we were a recipient along with a few others, and that we're being held up based on, and I'm a little perturbed about it. Public Utilities Authority, that 7-member fancy board that has jacked up our electric rate in September, they're holding it up, or their inspectors or whatever. But we were successful. We've got the grant. We want to move forward, even though we have a demolition project going on here as well over the next couple of years, but it doesn't stop us based on how we are saying we're going to provide internet to the individuals that live here on our property. So that is good news, though I'm a little upset about it because we haven't gotten the money yet. It's around the corner. Government shutdown update. I talk to Zach almost every day. We talk about this. I think we have enough money till July to keep us funded without any drastic cuts from my staff or anything like that. I addressed it over a luncheon today with them because I'm sure they're concerned. Can imagine being in their shoes. but I foresee this thing being done right around Thanksgiving, probably soon after the election, and then we'll be back to worrying about other things. The Penrose Hildebrand Commons on Nielsen Street, it's moving along. Hopefully you commissioners have had an opportunity to go there and take a look. They're getting up, they're already on the third floor, I believe. I'm not so happy that they haven't hired our Section 3 workers yet, but I'm being told that they have different phases that they're going to bring these individuals in. I provided them with 12 names. Demolition and new construction of our property.
Yeah, I have a question on the other one, on the section 3.
Yes.
They have gone up to third floor and they haven't hired anybody?
No.
I mean, it's a long time to do that.
I get it. At least they told us they are intending to hire at different stages. Now, I do hold a unique position that I'm not only the executive director here, I'm also the compliance Section 3 officer for the county or the city. Mostly I do work for the city. And I have some powers that they don't want to see exhibited, but I will hold up checks if I have to.
Yeah, but the building is going up. By the time they finish, they might not hire anybody.
So then they'll have to pay a penalty at that point. So they know what what the punishment could be, and I just wanted to give you guys an update.
Do they know it in writing?
Oh yeah, because before they even took the job, they had to agree to it
in
writing in their contract.
Okay.
Cool.
I just wanted to present it to you and make you aware of it.
What's their rationale at this point?
The individuals that we provided them with will be more suitable at a different stage of their construction.
Have they said what they mean by that? What other stage are we talking about?
Well, typically the construction on a project like that would be 3 stages. The initial demo, which it was already demoed, the initial foundation piece, which none of our workers qualified for in their minds, then the construction part. So the second to third phase would be a cleanup phase, a framing phase from the inside, maybe more of a laborer phase. This is, in their mind, this is an intensive process that's going on right now. So I guess once they get the shell of the building up, maybe something more suitable there. So we just did something across the street with 3 of our workers at the TCB project on Nielsen, which Commissioner or Chairman Wright and Commissioner Medina Hernandez were there. And that was a unique thing as well. It seemed to work a little differently. It's not as high of a building, but that's their explanation.
Okay.
All right. So listen, we want to make sure that our guys are being put to work and that they're compliant with the Section 3 kind of mandate there. But at the same time, we don't want to put somebody in an unsafe situation if they're not skilled to do that work with that machinery at that phase of construction. So we're not trying to force the hand and get somebody hurt. But yeah, Mr. Toto, if you can follow up and just make sure that when they get to the finishes and framing and punch and paint and general laborer stuff, which we likely have higher pools of qualification for, that our people are brought on site.
So, Mr. Walde, you made a good point earlier, and I forgot, but with the government shutdown, my contact in Newark, in New York, the guy that I deal with in Section 3, Corey Chu, he's MIA, he's not working. So I don't really have anybody I can go to except I keep documenting my requests. I've done it to Penrose. They've tried to help, but this is solely on the back of the contractors.
Who is the contractor on that?
It's
who?
1 second, Commissioner Giorgiani, you said something.
Yes, thank you. Is this a lot of these that they're not hiring our people for the simple fact of certifications of certain things? Because I know we're working in New York on a lot of high rises and stuff like that we have to have certain certifications. If you don't have them, not even allowed to be on the site. So I was just kind of curious, is this part of it too, Dan?
No, I think when the federal government created this,
so
they didn't really care. They said you could put homeless people are the highest level of of people that they want hired. Yeah, I know, but
No, I'm not shaking my head. No, I just meant like I just understand that I'm sure they have, liabilities, as we all know, and insurance stuff. And like you said, a lot of times I know as a fact that we had to have certain certifications or you're not even allowed on a job.
yeah.
And no matter what, the federal government says, well, you can hire, you can bring in this homeless person to work under our
So there's other
Section
ways.
3, but you don't want to put someone in a compromising situation either. So are they
Got it.
trying, like you said earlier, with the goal looking for a certain time frame that they might be,
So
then putting someone on?
can you guys see this business card? It's called the ARC, and not the
Mhm.
ARC that we know, but the ARC out of Morristown. So I said, listen, man, there's other things you can do. You can hire a minority-owned building material company. They can provide the sheetrock, the widgets, the whatever you guys need to construct the interior part of this, and you could satisfy your Section 3 requirement. You can hire like people in the past, really good contractors that adhere to it, like Jingoli, like Pike Construction, they met the obligation. Why are you guys so privileged? And at first they said to me, this was ironic. A couple weeks back, they said, "Oh no, we met that obligation." I go, "Really?" I said, "Can I see your salary list here? Like, show me which ones." He said, a guy from Perth Amboy, somebody from Lakewood, another person from Toms River. I go, "You have to first exhaust the closest neighborhoods to your project, which is New Brunswick. Then you get to branch out to the county. Then you get to branch out to a neighboring county." Buddy, I said, "You're jumping 4 counties away. This isn't going to work." So I guess that didn't go over too well with them. So then I always go back to Penrose. But they're going to pay. I mean, it's either they're going to pay now with workers or they're going to pay later with money. So they're not getting off on this. And Zach knows what I did to a similar contractor not too long ago. It was about a year ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, we shut down the whole site.
Yeah, we sent you
So they
down there
went-
to
they
the
went
to that
home.
site.
He sent me down because I was like, yeah, it was a Thursday. I was getting ready to get out of here. He goes, "Well, what are you doing now?" I go, "I'm packing up. I'm getting the hell out of here early. I'm going to have a 3-day weekend." He goes, "Well, why don't you just go down there right now?" It was like 11 o'clock. And Mikey drove me down just in case I caught a 2x4 in the back of the head. So I go down, I had my hard hat on, I had my New Brunswick stuff and walked. I go, "No, this isn't gonna work." This one guy ran away. Another guy, your forms aren't right. None of the sign-in sheets were right. And then nobody wanted to show me ID. And that was part of the agreement. When someone shows up for compliance purposes, you have to comply. There's no, "Oh my God, you violated my due process." Well, you guys signed the contract, you took federal dollars. So it's only federal money. I don't think Helix is taking federal money. I think Helix is all state money, I believe, and private equity. So they don't have to meet a Section 3 obligation.
The tax credit doesn't require them?
No, the state, it's a federal obligation. If you take federal dollars, you have to hire Section 3. And it doesn't mean just workers. You can go hire a company that's minority owned and purchase the same amount of percentage of whatever money they gave you. So,
Yeah.
for example, you know how it works.
Yeah, but the HMFS tax credit is federal money, but this Aspire most probably is federal money.
No, I think Aspire is state funded. But we'll look at
The other one is is supposed to be state funded, but the tax credit is allocated from by the federal government.
Yeah.
So
I would normally have gotten something from this Helix contract obligation in their preamble part of it. They would share that with me that they have this obligation to meet, and I haven't gotten that. But I thank you. I will ask Mr.
when I asked that question, he said you remember I asked him if
yeah, and he was a little aloof. He didn't look like he kind of glazed over it. I mean, I don't want to call him.
Okay, anyway, yeah.
Well, if they have a responsibility, they'll be compelled to meet it.
Yep.
So
yeah,
I would love it. I would love it if that's the case. I don't think so. Okay,
What
so
else?
that's over. And then I want to talk to you guys about the League of Municipality event that's going on November 18th to the 22nd. Let me know if you guys are interested in going down there. It's a really good event. You can meet a lot of good vendors. There are really a lot of good training seminars there. The only thing we ask is that we'll pay your registration. You guys have to find your own hotel accommodation, pay for all that, and then we'll pay you back in 30 days. That's how we run it here because we have a small staff. We don't have time to be worrying about issuing you checks tomorrow and stuff, but we'll get to it within 30 days. Right, Alberto? Oh, he's got his own mute. Okay, so
Sorry,
that's
yes.
that. If there are any questions of me, please ask me now or bring them to me later. And Charlie, any more comments you need answered, please reach out to me tomorrow and I'll try my best to get you the answers to those. All right? Okay.
Right.
We can move to adjournment if there are no
I
other-
motion to adjourn.
Second.
Great. And roll call. Commissioner Vignolo?
Yes.
Commissioner Blevins?
Yes.
Commissioner Walde?
Yes.
Commissioner Dunlap? Commissioner Dunlap? He's there. Thank you, sir. Commissioner Giorgiani?
Yes.
Chairman Wright?
Yes.
Let me add one more thing. We're going to have, as we did last year, and Chairman Wright came and he made a big donation. We're going to have a Halloween party this year for the kids again, and it's really neat. It's going to be I'll send it out, but I think it's Thursday the 30th, Mischief Night. And
Thursday the 30th?
yeah, I think the 31st
Yeah,
is
town.
31st.
31st is Friday. We're not doing it on Friday because I can't get the staff back here. Only on that 4 day. So the 30th, we're going to have an event here about 4 o'clock.
4 o'clock. Okay.
It'll be
Perfect.
a quick 2 hours. We'll have food for the kids. We had a really good turnout, right, Zach?
We did the last time, yeah.
Yeah. The only problem was he didn't come in a costume, so that wasn't good.
Do you bring toys that day?
No, we'll have everything. But if you want to bring some money, you can do that. All right, guys. I hope to see you guys on Thursday the 30th. But I'll have Duran send out an invitation. All right.
Very
All right. Catch
Thank
you
you,
guys.
everybody. Bye bye.
Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
nice.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night.